Ladies and gentlemen, recognizing the source of self-doubt. Self-doubt is not something you were born with, it is something you learn. Perhaps it came from past failures, from people who spoke negative words over your life, or from comparing yourself to others. But the truth is this: you are more than your past. You are more than the opinions of others. You are more than your mistakes. The first step to overcoming self-doubt is to recognize that it is not a fact, it is a feeling. And feelings change when you change your mindset. The power of self-perception. The way you see yourself determines how the world will see you. If you see yourself as weak, you will act weak. If you see yourself as unworthy, you will settle for less than you deserve. But when you understand your value, when you realize that you were created with purpose, you begin to carry yourself differently. Confidence is not arrogance, it is the awareness of your worth. You must stop defining yourself by your failures and start defining yourself by your potential. Trusting in your purpose. You were not created to live in fear. You were not placed on this earth to simply survive. You were placed here to thrive, to grow, to impact lives. Every great leader, every successful person had to make a decision to believe in the greatness within them. You have a gift that the world needs. When you doubt yourself, you rob others of the impact you were meant to make. Your purpose is bigger than your fear. Taking bold action. Confidence is not a feeling that magically appears. It is a muscle that grows when you use it. You must take action even when you feel uncertain. When you step out in faith, you will realize that fear has no real power over you. Every time you push past self-doubt, you weaken its grip on your life. The more you do, the more confident you become. Self-doubt is not something you are born with. It is something you learn over time. No child enters this world second-guessing their abilities or fearing failure. Watch a young child take their first steps. They do not worry about falling, nor do they question whether they are capable of walking. They simply try, fall, and try again until they succeed. It is only as we grow older and encounter challenges, criticism, and failures that we begin to question ourselves. Self-doubt is a learned behavior shaped by experiences, words spoken over us, and the comparisons we make with others. If it is learned, that means it can also be unlearned. But before we can overcome it, we must understand where it comes from. One of the greatest sources of self-doubt is past failures. Every time we try something and fail, our mind takes note of it. If we fail enough times without the right mindset, we begin to internalize the belief that failure defines us. Instead of seeing failure as a temporary event, we start seeing it as a reflection of who we are. This is a dangerous perspective because failure is never meant to be a label, it is meant to be a lesson. Many of the most successful people in history experienced multiple failures before they achieved success. The difference between them and those who give up is that they refused to let their failures determine their future. Failure does not mean you are incapable. It simply means you are learning. Another major contributor to self-doubt is negative words spoken over our lives. Words are powerful. From childhood, the words spoken by parents, teachers, and peers shape our self-perception. If a child constantly hears, "You're not smart enough," "You'll never be good at that," or "You always mess things up," they will eventually start believing those words, even if they are not true. Unfortunately, many adults still carry the weight of words spoken to them in childhood. They doubt their abilities not because they lack potential, but because someone once told them they were not good enough. But here is the truth. Just because someone spoke negative words over you does not mean you have to accept them as your identity. You have the power to reject those words and replace them with truth. Comparison is another silent killer of confidence. In today's world, where social media constantly showcases the best moments of others, it is easy to feel like we are not measuring up. We see people achieving great things, living seemingly perfect lives, and accomplishing what we wish we could. This breeds self-doubt because we begin to ask ourselves, why am I not as successful? Or what if I am not as good as they are? The problem with comparison is that it is based on an incomplete picture. We compare our behind-the-scenes struggles with someone else's highlight reel. The reality is, every person we admire has faced struggles, doubts, and failures. They just do not always show them. True confidence comes when you stop comparing yourself to others and start focusing on your own growth. Fear of judgment is another factor that feeds self-doubt. Many people do not pursue their dreams, not because they lack ability, but because they fear what others will think. They are afraid of looking foolish, making mistakes in public, or being criticized. But the truth is, no matter what you do in life, there will always be people who have opinions about you. If you let the fear of others' opinions control you, you will never step into your full potential. The people who achieve great things are those who learn to move forward despite criticism. They understand that their purpose is too important to be held back by the opinions of others. Self-doubt often arises from a lack of self-awareness. Many people do not truly know who they are. They define themselves based on external achievements, societal expectations, or the approval of others. When they do not meet certain standards, they feel inadequate. But real confidence does not come from achievements. It comes from knowing your true identity. You are not defined by your mistakes, failures, or the opinions of others. You have value simply because you exist. When you begin to see yourself the way you were meant to be seen, self-doubt loses its power over you. Recognizing the root of self-doubt is the first step in overcoming it. It is not something that disappears overnight, but the more you understand where it comes from, the more you can challenge its grip on your life. The key is to separate truth from lies. Failure does not mean you are incapable. Negative words do not define you. Comparison is an illusion. Fear of judgment is a trap. And most importantly, your worth is not determined by external factors. When you recognize these truths, you begin to break free from the mindset of self-doubt and step into a life of confidence. The way you see yourself determines everything about your life. It shapes your actions, your decisions, and the way you interact with the world. This is because confidence is not concentrated on more than one thing. More than once, one-on-ones. If you see yourself as small, you will act small. If you see yourself as capable, you will carry yourself with assurance. The world does not determine your worth. You do. Many people struggle with self-doubt because they have allowed their identity to be shaped by external circumstances. They define themselves by their past mistakes, their failures, or the negative opinions of others. When someone experiences rejection, they often internalize it and begin to believe that they are not good enough. If they have failed in a certain area, they assume they are not capable of success. But the truth is, external events do not determine who you are, only your mindset does. A failure is just an event. It is not an identity. Rejection is an experience, not a definition of your value. The key to overcoming self-doubt is to separate your circumstances from your identity. You may have failed, but that does not mean you are a failure. You may have struggled, but that does not mean you are weak. When you begin to see yourself correctly, you unlock the confidence to step into your full potential. Your self-perception is built through the words you tell yourself every day. The conversations you have with yourself are more important than the conversations you have with anyone else. If you constantly tell yourself, I am not good enough, I will never succeed, or I do not have what it takes, you will begin to believe it. Your mind is like fertile soil. It will grow whatever you plant in it. If you plant seeds of doubt, insecurity, and fear, they will take root and shape your reality. But if you plant seeds of confidence, belief, and assurance, you will begin to grow into the person you were meant to be. The words you speak over yourself create the foundation of your confidence. You must learn to replace negative self-talk with affirmations of truth. Instead of saying, I am not good enough, start saying, I am capable, I am learning, and I am growing. Instead of saying, I always fail, declare, every failure is a lesson that is making me stronger. When you change your words, you change your mindset. Another key aspect of self-perception is understanding that confidence is not arrogance. Many people shy away from confidence because they fear being seen as prideful. But true confidence is not about thinking you are better than others. It is about knowing that you have value just like everyone else. Arrogance compares itself to others, but confidence stands firm in its own identity. When you are truly confident, you do not need to prove yourself to anyone. You walk in the assurance that you have something valuable to offer. This kind of confidence attracts opportunities, relationships, and success because people are naturally drawn to those who believe in themselves. One of the biggest obstacles to a healthy self-perception is comparison. We live in a world where people constantly compare themselves to others. Social media has amplified this issue, making it easy to feel like we are not doing enough, achieving enough, or becoming enough. When you compare yourself to others, you lose sight of your own unique journey. You were not created to be a copy of someone else. You were designed with a distinct purpose. Confidence begins when you stop measuring yourself against others and start focusing on your own growth. Your only competition should be the person you were yesterday. The way you carry yourself also reflects your self-perception. Have you ever noticed how confident people walk, speak, and interact? They do not rush, they do not shrink, and they do not hesitate. They move with certainty, not because they have everything figured out, but because they trust in their own ability to figure things out. Your body language sends signals to both yourself and others about how you see yourself. When you stand tall, speak clearly, and present yourself with confidence, you reinforce a positive self-perception. Even when you do not feel confident, acting confidently can help train your mind to believe in itself. Your self-perception determines what you allow yourself to achieve. If you believe you are unworthy of success, you will subconsciously sabotage your own progress. If you believe you are not talented enough, you will hold yourself back from opportunities. But when you shift your self-perception and begin to see yourself as capable, worthy, and prepared, you will start making choices that align with that belief. You will take risks, embrace challenges, and step into the confidence that was meant for you. Every person on this earth was created with a unique purpose. You are not here by accident. You are not a mistake. There is a specific reason for your existence, and you have been given everything you need to fulfill that purpose. However, many people struggle with self-doubt because they do not believe they are equipped for the journey ahead. They question their abilities, their worth, and their potential. They hesitate to take steps toward their dreams because they feel unqualified. But the truth is, confidence comes not from having all the answers, but from trusting that you were created for something greater. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with self-doubt is because they measure their worth based on external validation. They wait for others to approve of their dreams before they pursue them. They seek reassurance from friends, family, or society before they believe in themselves. But the reality is, No one else can define your purpose for you. The world may not always recognize your potential, but that does not mean it is not there. Many of the greatest visionaries in history were doubted, criticized, and even ridiculed before they achieved greatness. Their confidence did not come from the approval of others. It came from their deep belief that they were meant for something more. Your purpose is not determined by where you come from, your past mistakes, or your current struggles. Many people hold themselves back because they believe their past disqualifies them from achieving great things. They think, I have made too many mistakes, or I am not talented enough, or I don't have the right background. But history has shown that the most impactful people are often those who have overcome great challenges. Your struggles do not disqualify you. They prepare you. Every challenge you have faced, every lesson you have learned, and every difficulty you have endured has shaped you for the path ahead. Instead of seeing your past as a burden, see it as preparation. The things you have gone through have given you strength, wisdom, and resilience. You are more ready than you think. One of the greatest enemies of confidence is fear. Fear tells you that you are not good enough. Fear tells you that you will fail. Fear convinces you that you should play small and stay in your comfort zone. But fear is a liar. It is designed to keep you from stepping into your purpose. The people who achieve great things are not those who never feel fear. They are the ones who choose to move forward despite it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something else is more important than fear. When you trust in your purpose, you realize that your calling is bigger than your fears. Trusting in your purpose also means embracing growth. Many people wait until they feel ready before they take action. They think they need to have everything figured out before they start. But the truth is, no one ever feels 100% ready. Confidence does not come before action. It comes as a result of taking action. The more you step out in faith, the more you develop the skills, knowledge, and experience needed to succeed. As you said, every expert was once a beginner. Every successful person had a moment when they knew nothing. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that successful people trust in the process. They understand that growth happens through action. They are willing to start even when they feel unprepared because they trust that they will learn along the way. Another key to trusting in your purpose is refusing to be distracted by doubt. There will always be obstacles, there will always be challenges, there will always be voices, both external and internal, that tell you to quit. But you must be unwavering in your belief that you were created for something great. Do not let temporary setbacks make you forget your long-term purpose. When you encounter difficulties, remind yourself why you started. Hold on to your vision, even when things get tough. Your purpose is not just about you. It is also about the people you are meant to impact. When you doubt yourself, you are not only holding yourself back, but you are also holding back the people who need what you have to offer. Someone out there is waiting for the gift, the talent, and the message that only you can bring. When you step into your purpose with confidence, you inspire others to do the same. Your journey is bigger than your fears, and your impact is greater than your doubts. At the end of the day, trusting in your purpose means believing that you are created for more. It means understanding that you have everything you need within you to succeed. It means taking action even when you feel uncertain, knowing that confidence is built through experience. It means silencing the voice of fear and choosing to move forward in faith. When you trust in your purpose, you unlock the confidence to step boldly into the life you are meant to live. Confidence is not something that magically appears in your life. It is something that is built through action. Many people wait until they feel ready before they step forward. But the truth is, readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision. If you wait for fear to disappear before you take action, you will be waiting forever. Fear does not leave on its own. It loses its power only when you confront it. The most confident people are not those who never feel fear, but those who refuse to let fear stop them. Every great achievement in history was made possible because someone dared to take action despite uncertainty. Confidence grows every time you step out of your comfort zone. One of the greatest traps of self-doubt is overthinking. Many people analyze every possibility, consider every potential failure, and allow their thoughts to paralyze them. They believe that if they just think long enough, they will find the perfect moment to act. But overthinking often leads to inaction. The mind begins to create problems that do not even exist yet. Instead of taking the first step, they get stuck in a cycle of fear and hesitation. Bold action requires breaking free from this cycle. It means recognizing when thinking has turned into procrastination and choosing to move forward regardless of uncertainty. Action leads to clarity. Many times you do not fully understand the path ahead until you start walking on it. Taking bold action also means embracing mistakes as part of the journey. Many people fear failure so much that they avoid taking risks. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Every failure teaches you something valuable. It gives you insight, experience, and wisdom. The people who achieve great things are not those who never make mistakes, but those who learn from them and keep going. Instead of seeing failure as a reason to stop, see it as proof that you are trying, learning, and growing. The most successful individuals in the world have failed more times than most people have even tried. They are willing to take action, knowing that each step, even the missteps, brings them closer to their goal. Another critical aspect of taking bold action is preparation. Confidence does not come from wishing or hoping. It comes from knowing you have done the work. When you prepare yourself, whether through education, practice, or discipline, you equip yourself with the tools needed to succeed. Preparation eliminates unnecessary fear. A speaker who has rehearsed their speech multiple times will feel more confident than one who has not. A business person who has studied their industry will make decisions with more certainty than one who is uninformed. Confidence is not just about believing in yourself. It is also about being prepared to back up that belief with action. The more you prepare, the more natural confidence becomes. Many people hesitate to take bold action because they focus too much on what others might think. They fear being judged, criticized, or laughed at. But the truth is, no matter what you do, there will always be someone who has an opinion. If you allow the fear of judgment to control your actions, you will never live to your full potential. The most confident people are those who have learned to tune out unnecessary criticism. They understand that their purpose is too important to be shaped by the opinions of those who are not walking their path. Taking bold action requires the courage to follow your vision, even when others do not understand it. Another powerful factor in stepping into confidence is surrounding yourself with the right people. The company you keep influences the way you see yourself and the actions you take. If you spend time with people who are always doubting themselves, playing small, and avoiding risks, their mindset will begin to affect you. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who take bold action, who push themselves beyond their comfort zones, and who believe in their dreams, you will be inspired to do the same. Confidence is contagious. Being around people who take action will encourage you to take action as well. Taking bold action also means understanding that progress is more important than perfection. Many people do not move forward because they want everything to be perfect before they start. They want the perfect plan, the perfect timing, and the perfect circumstances. But perfection is an illusion. No journey begins with everything in place. The most successful people in the world did not wait for the perfect conditions. They started where they were, with what they had. They refined their skills along the way. They adjusted their strategies as they learned. If you wait for perfection, you will never take the first step. But if you commit to progress, you will find that confidence grows with every step you take. Taking bold action is about choosing to move forward despite fear, despite uncertainty, and despite imperfection. It is about making a decision to believe in yourself, preparing for success, surrounding yourself with the right people, and refusing to be held back by fear of judgment. Confidence is not something you find, it is something you build. And the only way to build it is by stepping forward, taking risks, and embracing the journey ahead.